I don't like my performance at all. Will Wheaton gets candid about one of Wesley Crusher's most famous Star Trek, The Next Generation episodes. Will Wheaton, the actor who became a household name for portraying the young prodigy Wesley Crusher on Star Trek, The Next Generation TNG, has always been refreshingly honest about his time on the iconic sci-fi series. While most fans remember Wesley as the bright-eyed teenage genius navigating life aboard the USS Enterprise D, Wheaton himself has occasionally critiqued his own performances, particularly in certain episodes that remain fan favorites. One episode, in particular, has become infamous, not for any fault of the writing or direction, but because Wheaton himself looks back on it with a level of self-critical honesty few actors are willing to voice. That episode is The Naked Now, the second episode of TNG's first season. Originally airing in 1987, the episode famously placed the usually composed crew under the influence of a bizarre infection that lowered inhibitions, leading to chaotic and often comical behavior. For many viewers, it offered a rare glimpse of TNG's characters acting out of line with the starship's usual professionalism. Wesley Crusher, the young ensign in training, is no exception. As the plot unfolds, he finds himself navigating confusing and emotionally heightened situations, often reacting in ways that contrast sharply with the mature composure of the adult crew. For Wheaton, reflecting on his performance decades later, the memory is tinged with discomfort. In a recent candid interview, he admitted, "I don't like my performance at all in that episode. Watching it now, I see all the awkwardness, all the things I wish I had done differently. I was so young, so eager to please, and it shows." It's rare for an actor to dissect their early work with such brutal honesty. But Wheaton's transparency offers a fascinating window into the pressures of child stardom, particularly in the unique environment of a high-profile sci-fi series. What makes Wheaton's critique especially compelling is the context of TNG's production. The Next Generation was a show that demanded technical precision. Actors had to deliver lines often laden with scientific jargon, hit their marks on a complex, multi-level set, and convey emotions appropriate to futuristic scenarios that had little grounding in reality. For a 13-year-old Will Wheaton, the challenge was enormous. He has recounted that memorizing lines about warp drives and photon torpedoes was only half the battle. Understanding how Wesley should feel in each scene required an emotional maturity he was still developing. In The Naked Now, where the plot demanded exaggerated emotional responses due to the crew's impaired inhibition, Wheaton's youthful uncertainty may have amplified his sense of discomfort in hindsight. Yet, despite Wheaton's own criticism, The Naked Now holds a special place in the hearts of fans. For many, Wesley's awkwardness is endearing. It humanizes the otherwise idealized teen prodigy and highlights the tension between youthful impulsiveness and adult responsibility. Fans often cite Wesley's flustered moments as some of the most relatable parts of the episode, and they marvel at how Wheaton managed to convey a credible mix of fear, curiosity, and burgeoning confidence in a character who is otherwise portrayed as near genius. In a way, Wheaton's self-professed bad performance contributes to the episode's charm, adding layers of authenticity to Wesley's teenage struggle and the rigid structure of Starfleet life. Wheaton's candid reflection also opens up a broader conversation about nostalgia and perception. Many TNG fans who grew up watching the show tend to view early episodes with rose-colored glasses, remembering Wesley as flawless in intellect and, in some sense, in execution. Wheaton's honesty challenges this nostalgia, reminding audiences that actors, like their characters, evolve. What appears seamless on screen is often the product of hard work, trial, and human imperfection. His critique underscores the fact that even in beloved shows, not every performance meets the actor's own standards, and that imperfection can be an essential part of storytelling. Interestingly, Wheaton has noted that his critique doesn't diminish his affection for TNG or for Wesley Crusher. "I love Wesley. I love the show," he explained. "I just look back at some episodes and see myself fumbling in ways I wish I hadn't. But those moments are part of the journey. They shaped me as an actor, and they shaped how fans remember Wesley: awkward, brilliant, sometimes wrong, but always trying." This perspective is not only refreshingly humble, but also deeply humanizing. It transforms what could have been a mere confession into a lesson about growth, resilience, and embracing the messy, imperfect moments that define us. Ultimately, Will Wheaton's candid take on The Naked Now reinforces a truth that resonates beyond the sci-fi fandom. Even in the context of a futuristic starship exploring the final frontier, the human elements of insecurity, self-reflection, and personal growth remain universal. Wheaton's willingness to critique his younger self, while still honoring the character and the series, highlights the complex relationship between actor and role, and between nostalgia and reality. For fans, it's a reminder that imperfection can